What's up? It's Goat to Goat Talk. You plugged in with Jay right now. This is Chayo Nash.
Jay, I heard you named your dog after me. Cameron Jordan, New Orleans Saints defensive end?
What's going on, Jay?
Dan Tony, Wings of America, the teal tone lobster. There it is. Jay, I wish you guys many monies for many moons.
Guys, this is Jamal Anderson with my boy Jay Parrish. Check him out, y'all. He's bringing that heat all the time.
Right here, baby. Turn up, turn up, turn up. Watch yourself.
What up, guys? It's Kenyon Drake, current Arizona Cardinals running back, and you're listening to my boy, Jay the Plug.
Yo, it's Joshua Kelly, and you're listening to my boy, Jay the Plug. Boom!
What's going on, guys? Jonathan Taylor here, Indianapolis Colts running back, and you're listening to my boy Jay the Plug.
Hey, what's up? It's Alexander Madison, and you're listening to my boy Jay the Plug.
Hey, what's up? This is Jameis Winston, and you're listening to my boy Jay the Plug.
Jay the Plug. Can't say he's my boy yet.
Yo, what's up? It's Miles Sanders, and you're listening to my boy Jay the Plug.
This is David E. Wilson, and you plugged in with Jay.
But if you could just listen to Jay, I would consider that a personal favor to me.
Get plugged up, everybody.
What's good, man? It's your homeboy T-Pain, and best believe you have now access to complicated production.
Young, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, man. I'm sorry. So you started young. So whenever that happened, what was it that snapped and said, "This is what I want to do forever"? Like, when did you decide, "Fuck everything else. Music is my focus"?
I think there was 2 points. One is where I got a scholarship to go play basketball at a private school. I got there. I was already like a radical individual, and I was not digestible for the student body. They called me a virus on the student body. And well, if you want to get into that, I showed up. They had a dress code with collared shirts, and you had to tuck your shirt in, and you had a certain cut of shirt. And the first day they told me I just tuck my shirt in, I wouldn't wear it untucked. And the next day I went out and bought all the ones that fit right, so that I didn't have to tuck it in. And I had I wore a SpongeBob backpack, like a little kid's one, that didn't fit my books. So and then all these kids made up rumors that I got kicked out of my old school for selling coke out of my SpongeBob backpack. My real name's Theo, and I guess I used to be a little more like have that defense up. Like we talked about that when we were the other day. Like just people used to kind of fuck with me just because they thought they could. So I'd have like the kind of mug on just to let you know like I'm not in the mood. So they call me Mugshot Teddy. And I only went there for 5 weeks, bro. I only went there for 5 weeks. In this 5 weeks, these rumors started. And then, like, I just went back to school. I went back to my other school and then went to go play black basketball. And I'm talking about I've done the summer leagues and the conditioning with this coach. And he wouldn't let me try out because he took offense to the fact that I was going to the other school. So I immediately, I had a problem with smoking weed and doing whatever's in front of me to cope. And so that's when I kind of started, that's when I really started going into I'd already been in the hood with all my friends, but that's when I started going to the studio in the hood and staying there overnight or for 2 days in a row, sleeping on the couch there. That was one turn. Then I was smart enough to still get good grades and to get into college and to get a somewhat like a scholarship for my SAT scores and my grades and whatever, because it was just easy because I finished. By the time that happened, I already finished most of my core classes in 10th grade, and then I just dropped down into bare minimum, give me 3 gyms and whatever else I need to finish.
Right.
And I got into college, and then at one point, I was still doing my thing, but I wasn't all the way in it with my being.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went on tour opening for Ritz, if you know who Ritz is.
Yeah.
And Jelly Roll.
Yeah, I know who they are.
I was opening for them, and I dropped out of college to go on tour with them. And that's when I was I got the offer, and I was like, yeah, fuck school. I wanted to go to Full Sail and become an engineer anyway. So I was like, yeah, fuck this. I'm going. I went back and then dropped out again because I got a record deal. But that was a turning point too. The final turning point was probably like 3-4 years ago, when I was like, I think I had a seizure from going on a crazy bender, and I was like, yo, like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm here for. I'm not here to be everyone's entertainment, because I do like doing funny shit and having fun and like having a blast and entertaining people, but like, you gotta, when you're young, you don't realize that a lot of people just want to watch you fall or are waiting to watch you fall. And I noticed that by like having a girlfriend or like having a good situation going, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to watch this anymore. Like, everyone likes watching a train wreck. Even myself, I used to love watching kids getting hurt on Instagram. Like, I know hold on now, before we get too into it. It's just like kids falling, or like dads dropping their kids, or kids doing dumb shit, like kids like swinging a baseball bat and hitting themselves in the head. And I'm like, and then I stopped doing it because I'm like, this is fucked up. I don't need to do this all day, even though it's funny. Or like there's one where girls are trying to do a bunch of stuff and they just fall or slip.
I love that shit still.
Yeah, I still do. But that's the psychology of it to me. And it's like, I don't want people to watch me because I'm a train wreck. I don't want people to watch me because my shit's dope.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And when you do that, you might lose a lot of like, I don't know. You lose a lot of people that are trying to watch a train wreck, but you gain a lot of people that are like, oh, this dude's got something to him, which is like why I like doing interviews, so people could see like, oh, this is where he's coming from, and then they can decide whether they fuck with me or not just watch a 2-minute video where I'm, saying lyrics they're not even really listening to probably, and
yeah. Makes perfect sense, man. I see. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to reach out to you, is because I see, like, I want people to see who you are. Like, anytime I do an interview, like if it's with a football player, I want them to get to know the guy behind the jersey. I don't really talk about so much football or, the sport they play. Like you, I want to know about your music and how it came about. But that's one thing I want people to see is who you are as a person. Because after talking to you so much in the past week, I mean, dude, I like you as a person. Like, I can.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the opportunity to do that, and I appreciate that from you as a person. And that's something else like that. That's just something I like to do. Like, I don't, I used to like finger food on my Instagram, and like,
saw that, man, the flamingo,
bro. And it just like tumbled out of control because it turned into like this huge like sexualizing thing, which was like the point, but it was really supposed to be just funny.
It's funny, man.
I would like go to Ruth Chris and like finger a lobster, and then old people would stare at me.
It wasn't alive though, bro.
No. That would be illegal. I think. Maybe not in Florida.
I was gonna say. In Florida,
you can't catch them, but you can finger them.
Right. I'm sorry, man. I just got that visual in my head. Now it's fucked up.
Oh, yes. Yeah. You have some weird dreams now,
dude. Look, it's one thing. It's like being funny or like being entertaining is like, but you got like what sucks is nowadays like so many people are so fucking sensitive. It's a whole.
Yeah.
Like I'm so glad I don't have. I know kids are a blessing. I'm so glad I don't have kids though, because I'd end up being. I don't know if you've heard of the football player James Harrison. He's this monster of a human being. Plays for Pittsburgh. Played for Pittsburgh. He grabbed his kids' consolation trophies and threw them in the trash. I'm totally down with that. Like, I mean, go out there and work and earn it. Nobody can do that.
I'm an idiot. The Bud Light kicking in. I thought you had constellation trophies. I'm like, I kind of like constellations.
Yeah, constellations are beautiful. I saw your face. I was like, what'd I say, bro?
I was like, I like constellations. No, I agree with that too, because that was a problem for me. I'd always, I think there's a balance of being like, oh, you're a special kid. Everyone's special. Everyone is special, but that one thing I always tell people is like, even when you fully commit and you fully know who you are and you can do all these tantra, like I'm worthy things, but like if you're trying to skip the work, get out of my face, bro. Like,
Yeah.
like you're not gonna get big by thinking about being big. You're gonna get big by doing, like literally waking up and doing the push-ups, going to the gym, eating right. But you gotta believe in yourself to do that.
Mhm.
And I don't think I think I'll probably be tough on my kids, honestly, because like I feel like discipline is major. Like you know, unless you're blessed with some crazy family inheritance or whatever, like you gotta put the work in. You gotta study, whatever it is. You gotta put the work in.
Yeah.
But you gotta. I think that's where the believing in yourself comes. Like I can get through this workout. I can get through this rep. I can get through this study session. I can get through this test. I can get through the semester. But you gotta work. You can't just believe in yourself
100%.
into it happening. You
100%.
definitely got to, I think believing in yourself helps a lot. I can say from experience that it does, but you're not just gonna, can't just, you know, you can't.
That's not enough.
I think that's I love this new wave of like, you know, tantra and thinking it into being stuff, but I am opposed to the skipping the work part. I think I believe in, if you believe in something, if you believe in your craft, the 10,000 hours law. Like if you haven't put in your 10,000 hours, don't wonder why this shit ain't working.
100%. I'm trying to get my hours in, man. I appreciate you being part of them.
Yeah, I'm here.
Let's see. So I know you've been on stage with like Big Sean, A$AP Rocky, man, which is huge. Like they're two of my favorite artists as well. So I know you've been working with Riff Raff, which I'm extremely excited for, man. Jody High Roller has been one. I've been fucking with him since the Gucci Can Trap opener on YouTube and all that.
He's a fucking madman, bro. I've been a fan. I really remember watching him on G's to Gents. Yeah. But back then I didn't know he did music. And then his like freestyles came out where he'd like change outfits like 3 times during a little video, or someone was probably recording it with like a Razr phone or some shit. Mm-hmm. But like, he's one of the first people I've got to work with on like some like, I think he's done a lot. See, like he's an example of someone you can't compare to other people. Like he's doing his own thing, completely his own thing. It's like nobody else's thing, and it's working for him. Right. You know what I mean? And he's committed into what he's doing. Mm-hmm. He's really living his vision. Yeah. But like he's one of the first people, because of the signing deal, that like I've got to work with an artist, and it wasn't like I'm paying for a feature, so you have to be with me, or like, you know what I mean? Like, right. You know what I mean? Like it was like a bigger level artist that was like, you know, we chilled for a day, you know, we cut the record via email, and then we had a show that night, chilled that day, shot a video that whole day, blah, 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 this and that. You know, like like at this point, I'm getting to work with artists instead of like opening for artists, or just being around artists by chance because I'm backstage. Right. Because I'm selling weed to the fucking promoter or some shit. You know what I mean? Like whatever, that type of thing. So like I really like, it's cool. Actually, Big Sean was kind of like that. That was cool because Big Sean was like before I met him before he like really blew. Same with A$AP Mob. I was chilling with them before they were big, but they didn't blow up, like blow the fuck up type, you know. But it's cool to work with people on like hey, we're both artists, and like I think people see that about me. If they don't see it by my just mannerisms or my where I'm at or my demeanor, then they're gonna see it when they talk to me. And like that's how I've got to like sit, you know, work in the studio with Yellow Wolf. That's how I've got to really, really work with like Riff Raff. Me and Payne are like childhood friends, so it's like that's a different story. That's family. That's different than this, but like
is that y'all knew each other from when you were kids?
No, I wouldn't say that, but it's been said in interviews. But we've known each other for I think a decade. You know what I
Y'all
mean?
got that vibe. Y'all are,
Yeah,
y'all are
yeah.
like childhood friends. Y'all
Oh
are,
yeah, and we were friends first and for a long time before we got into business together.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah,
that's what's up, man. Like that's something I've noticed about Payne is I met him, talked to him. He was more than willing to do the interview and everything. It was just real, just like you, like it. And now, we talk about playing video games and stuff. Like I'd have never thought, now he's
like a real, he's like he's a real friend because he's a real person. He's not, he's not using you for exposure. He's not using you for, for free sneakers. He's,
he doesn't need to.
Like, he was like, I know him. He's like, he's a genuine dude. And like, I've known him at highs and lows, and I've stayed pretty consistent with him for a long time.
Yeah.
And we also just like a lot of the same shit. And when we don't, it's cool. And like we just click. We're cool.
It's genuine friendship. You don't have to like the same shit to be friends.
Yep. And we would still be friends if he hadn't signed me. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like, so.
Well, he hit a jackpot signing you, bro. No lie. Like I definitely fuck with you.
We're just waiting on the right time. It was a weird year. We were supposed to be on tour all year. We did a couple of live stream things, and he doesn't need to tour as much as I do.
He told me y'all are gonna have because we're both in Atlanta. He was telling me y'all are gonna do a Nappy Boy family tour, and told him, I was like, man, I got, just tell me when. I'll get the tickets. I'll be there. I'll come back. I'll definitely be there.
Yeah, this was actually, I was supposed to be on this tour, I think, before I even signed with him. So that's like, it just shows that it's just like, we're kind of, our shit's not, me and his shit's natural. It's not, It's not forced. It's not, no leverage situations. I think the first deal he sent me was like, I was about to tell him, I was like, I don't need no lawyer. I trust you, bro. Like, I'll sign whatever you give me. And then he's like, no, because when something happens and we go back and look at it, you know what I mean? So my lawyers looked at the first one he gave me, and he didn't write it. He didn't look at it, and it was all weird. And then he actually fired those lawyers that wrote that contract because they were, they just gave him like a template of like of a deal.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't right. It wasn't right. It was. I'm not getting the specifics, but it was clearly not a representation of what we spoke of. And then the second deal I got was like 10 pages long. Like I keep a bunch of my own shit. I keep my own shit. He just wants his shit recouped, and then we'll rediscuss later what we're doing from there. It's all like beyond fair.
Yeah.
Like super like just how he is, a genuine dope person while being a fucking legend. You know what I mean? So that's like a double-edged sword in a good way. So
yeah, man, that's huge. Like guys like you and
I won't talk about T-Pain anymore.
All right. I was just gonna say, man, it's refreshing to meet two individuals who don't have to be that way. Y'all are big enough to where you don't have to be, but y'all are good people. So it's always awesome, man. But
I know when to turn on the superstar mode and be a little bougie, but it does in regular data, in like a situation like this, it doesn't do much justice. It doesn't, it's not really, it doesn't really serve me or what I'm trying to do.
Sure. So after talking about, Riff Raff and everything, are there any artists out there that you're really wanting to collaborate with? Anybody that you kind of have a dream to collaborate with? I know it's kind of a weird question, but I mean, is there anybody?
It's not weird. It's because I actually care about the question.
There's a lot, man. I know.
There's so many, and also so few because I just want to get my own shit out.
Yeah.
Like I would love, fuck.
Not bad, man. I mean, we can come back to it if we need to.
I won't be able to think while we're talking, but
You can always come back to it, man. I'll be happy to
come back to that and we'll see if I have something. But like I can't think off the top of my head. There's too many in it, and I don't want to come off the wrong way and be like Jimmy Buffett. You know what I mean?
Jimmy Buffett's dope, man.
Jimmy Buffett has people who live a whole life playing his covers and touring playing his covers. So I would that's why on my bio right now it says the Trap Jimmy Buffett, because like I would love it's like because like I would love to have, I don't want to sound like Jimmy Buffett, but I'd love to have a bunch of, what does he have? The
parrot heads.
The parrot heads.
I know that because I used to fuck with Jimmy Buffett so much. I actually went to one of his concerts. You want to talk about one of the crazy, like I've never seen such fan loyalty.
Fandom.
It's unbelievable, man. That fandom.
They'll go do that for not him. You know how I know? Because when I was like 19 or 20, I was bartending at an oyster bar in Tallahassee called Barnacle Bills. And every like Tuesday, once a month, we would have some cover band come do Parrot Head night. And they were like, they would just get tanked and just buy Jimmy Buffett merch that somebody else made. And like, I'm like, damn, there's a whole like side market for other people who are capitalizing on this dude's, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's funny you say that, man, because I was such a fan of his when I was younger, because I have an obsession with the beach. Like, I love the beach. My sister, because he's got, you know, those beach chairs and like those wooden chairs with the real tall backs. You know what I'm talking about? She painted a full set, and I still have them. They're on my deck in the back right now. Like, yeah, people go crazy for his stuff.
He's an empire, bro, and
it's unreal. It's like 500 million. He's worth. It's you know what they show. Like this guy is
what they show. Yeah,
charts.
Who knows?
So something I asked, like a question I always want to ask any artist that I interview, which you're number 2, man, and I got to tell you, it's probably one of my favorite interviews I've done. Whenever you're really grinding and you're really putting forth all that work, and you're just, you know, every once in a while you're kind of like, damn, man, is this really what I'm supposed to do? Not that you don't want to do it, but is it kind of, because whenever I do interviews and stuff, when I'm done with them, I go directly into my wife and I tell her, I'm like, fuck, I don't think that was great. But it kind of wears on you a little bit. Was there ever a time where something broke for you to where it was just like, it sent you into that next level? You know what I mean? Like if you're getting down on something or whatever, but then all of a sudden something snaps and you get pushed into that next level of stardom, or that like a break or a blessing that you possibly got.
I'll give 2, and one is just being involved with a bunch of the wrong characters, and it's so easy, especially as a rapper. When I was like in that rapper, you know, when you know most rap is about being rich, selling drugs, whatever. It's really easy to get mixed up in that lifestyle and not know what's what, because it's like, am I doing good because I have money, or am I doing good because this fucking city respects me for being hard or crazy or whatever? And it's hard to like know when you're lost, when you're like, especially when you're fucked up all the time, it's hard to know what's what. Right. And you know, I've got out of a few situations where it's like, you know, whoa, it's like, what was I even doing this for? And it's like, at the time I thought I was doing it to help somebody or to help myself to do the music thing. And I was like, wow, like I was doing that for money or just because I didn't give a fuck about anything. And it's like, wait, I do give a fuck about something. So getting out of Jacksonville, Florida, that was a big moment where I was like, I really you know, everyone's like, oh, I'm lucky to have made it to 25 or blah, blah, blah. Like, right. Nah, I was lucky to get out of Jacksonville how I did, you know, with the people I was around, because some of those people didn't give a fuck about me at all. I still have a good handful of like family type brothers and sisters in there, but like getting out of there was like, you know, what could, like worst case scenario, what could, you know, shit that could have happened. Getting out of there was one. And then I remember after doing my thing in LA, that the second one, that's a little more positive. It's like the second one being in LA, where it's like Bane was like, "You need to get over here right now." Back when he was on Cinematic or had a management deal with Cinematic, he was talking about Johnny Shipes, who's it's one of Sony's like baby sister labels. He was like, "You need to get over here. We're talking about you. You need to get over here." And then I was like, and I remember where I was at this French, it's like this French bakery, not bakery, but like they have like all the macaroons and fruit tarts in the front. I almost want to look it up and see what it's called. But I was there eating with my ex, I guess you'd call it. I don't know what you call it now. And they were like, "You need to get here now." So I just boxed my ship. I was like, "I gotta go." She was tripping, and I was like, "Nah, I gotta go. Like, I gotta go." And then I got to his his hotel, and it was like, yeah, it was like he's like, "Yeah, it's time. We're gonna sign you." Blah blah blah. It took some time after that, but that was definitely a turning point where it was like, okay. He was like, "I need 30 songs," and I'm like, "Well, I've got 30." He's like, "No, I need 30 new songs," and I'm like, "All right." And that's when it turned. That's when I really kicked it gear. There's a few there's like levels to them. You know what I mean? There's always one that kicks you up to the next level. I'm sure I'll have another one where it's like, "Oh, it's really, really time," and then I'll have one where it's like, "Oh, it's really, really, really time." Like I was 22 when I got signed to Bacardi, which like the rum, like they signed me as an artist. Yeah, Rum Bum, and that shit was really cool for a young kid. But I would lose my mind if they did that to me right now, because they just put me up on South Beach for like 8 months, and I didn't record I didn't even go to a studio. We shot one video, and I just lived in Miami and ate Pollo Tropical and ate Molly every day. And they had like money for models and stuff, but not money for the studio. And it was just like super controlled. But that was also a time where I was like, oh, like the rich thing, like, oh, I'm gonna drop out of school for this.
Right.
Nowadays, I might not do that because it's a different situation, and like I'm aiming in a different direction. But
right,
Yeah,
I got you, man. No, it's whenever you're young and you're coming up and you get this opportunity, and a lot of times these places start looking at that and they try and take advantage of it. So they'll be like, "Hey, man, we're gonna offer you this."
That's a huge thing, bro. That's a huge thing that disgusts me, is like that's why I'm a little bit, people will say I'm an asshole in certain situations, but it's like people will really prey on, the hungry model or the hungry artist or the whatever, and selling dreams. Like, I don't buy dreams anymore. You know what I mean? I have my dreams. I don't need to buy them. I work for them. Like, I've worked hard for them. I've tried to buy dreams, and that shit does not work out.
Right.
And like, it's crazy. Yeah,
it's fun. Like, with just getting into that, like when I started, I don't know if you've seen on my Instagram, I've got a lot of characters and stuff, and I do, I've just always been able to act a fool and act and stuff. So like I started getting approached by a lot of these little companies or whatever, like wanting to do like interviews or give them skits and stuff. And then they start telling me that I need to do this many or that many. And I'm like, okay, what's this paying? Because this is time out of my day. But I got so pumped about it. I came so close to signing with some stuff. And my wife was looking at it. She's like, "You don't owe anybody shit." She goes, "They want you. What are they giving you for your time and your efforts?" It started getting to the point where I was going to give them everything and I wasn't going to get shit back.
Yeah. And I'm the personality type that gave everybody everything, like in more than one way. Like, there's times where I moved I always have cousins or like whatever that are videographers.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'll move them into my place when I don't even have the money to do it, get them a job.
Yeah.
They'll lose it. They'll like just try to holler at all the girls that are around me or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just like, and then I'll wind up with nothing. Like, I won't have I won't have a video. They'll be shooting with my homegirls that are models or whatever. They'll be like, it's crazy, bro. Like, and on both ends. People up top will take advantage of you. People at the bottom will try to climb up with you. And it's just, I just, the most I ever got out of myself was working on myself, even with any big people involved. Because like, you know, I've done features. I did like a whole mixtape with Rich Homie Quan right before he died out. And you know what I mean? Like, none of that shit means nothing if you don't have your own shit established. And you can't really do that except by getting crazy lucky or having crazy good friends or putting in the work. And I'd rather put in the work because I'm not trying to rely on luck or my friends.
Right. The work will stay. Luck and stuff runs out.
The work sticks, and that's why time for me and being committed has worked for me, because the work sticks. And like, you could, you know, I mean, I read comments just because I think they're funny, but like, you know, anybody who says something bad about me either is just doesn't get it yet, or is just like whatever.
I haven't heard a negative thing yet.
A 14-year-old kid calling me a culture vulture doesn't really hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, bro, you don't even know what culture is, player. I am cultured. I'm a cultured individual.
Yeah.